Wisconsin Archery 2025 is finally here. We're headed in sit number one or hunt number one on the year. This is one of our typical open weekend spots that we like to hit up. It's been good the last handful of years to us. And I think oaks are dropping back there this year. There's oaks dropping along the road and whatnot in this area. So I'm assuming those oaks have acorns in there dropping, but enough jibber jabbering. Let's get through this swamp and let's get out there.
The first sit of the year ended up being uneventful. I had one spike come through as I was setting up. The next morning I would head out to a different property. That morning sit ended up being uneventful as well. However, the second day of season in the evening, the activity would pick up.
I have a little bit of history with the property, not with deer, but scouting and whatnot. Last year, Bud and I scouted this early season. We ended up jumping a really nice buck. One of my gun hunts on this property, I saw a really nice 8-pointer too. So I have a little bit of history of knowing that there's the potential of good bucks on this property and whatnot. I guess if there's any highlights walking to the stand, we'll keep you posted on those. But if there's no highlights, I guess we'll see you in the stand. Let's got to the timber, guys. I don't see any acorns yet, but hopefully as we work our way through this little oak island type thing, start finding some acorns. Like I said, we're gonna get really tight to bedding. And bedding's only like 50 to 100 yards away. And what they do is come up on this oak flat, feed on acorns, they browse buckthorn, stinging nettles, that sort of stuff. And they head on to the egg fields after this. There's a variety of different type of egg fields in that direction. But we're gonna sit tight here and enjoy the squirrels. There's a buck making a rub right over there. Making a rub. Really holding it down on that. Morning, guys. We're headed back into that same property as last night. Trying to go after that buck or bucks. Not sure if it's one or there's a couple in that bedding area. But we're just gonna target the opposite side and see if we can cut them off. Going to bedding this morning. Got the ghillie on today. We're sitting right over top of beds, or right in beds pretty much. We're hoping to catch one coming back to this bed. This is where Bud and I bumped that big one last year. Wind's blowing this way. Bedding's like, we're in it, but the main beds are like 15 yards away. Hoping to catch them coming right in front of me. Beautiful morning.
I had high hopes for the sit. Unfortunately, no deer came through. In the evening, that hunt ended up being a bust as well. So on the morning of the 16th, I would end up going into one of my favorite properties to glass.
We are headed into a property where I was on some pretty good bucks early season last year. We're just gonna try and glass this morning to see if there are bucks back here. Got some really foggy air this morning. Pants are soaked, but really calm out. And I guess we'll chat with you once we get to the glassing point. Oh, this glass emission is going great. It's too foggy. Can't even see anything. What you gonna do? There's a buck to my left. Just had a small little fork come through. Came to about 15 yards or so. It's been really foggy, so it's been a challenge to glass. He's the only deer I've seen so far, but anytime you get that close to a buck, when you're out from the ground, it's pretty awesome. It's a good sign. At least there's one buck back here. Hopefully we can find something a little bit bigger. It's about an hour later since I talked to you guys. 8:30 now. Just had another buck skirt through here. Bigger than the last buck, but had like a half rack type thing going on. Looked like a 2-year-old half rack type deer. I think I forgot to wrap up the morning hunt. And I was curious on my way out. I've been curious of this one potential bedding area on the property. Ended up scouting it and bumped probably 120, 130 inch buck. Something for sure I would have shot. So I confirmed that's a bedding area. So I consider that a success even though we didn't get anything. Holy cow, is it hot out. It's always hot when I hunt this property. Got a long walk ahead of me. But anyway, we're hunting a big old bedding area. This area is huge. There's just beds everywhere in here. And there's one lone plum apple or crab apple tree. I have yet to decipher what it is. But it's just surrounded by bedding. And they love going to that before they head out to the egg field. It's really bright out today. Low wind. Crispy. So we gotta sneak in real quietly tonight. Just got set up on the ground here. This crab apple, plum apple tree, whatever the heck it is, doesn't have any fruit this year. So that sucks. Although we got corn behind me, alfalfa, and workcorn all around me, so they should still be filtering through, hopefully. Wind's blown away from bedding. It's hot. I think I set up next to a bee's nest. We're living the dream. We're gonna enjoy the evening. Hopefully we have something come through. First deer of the night, guys. Sun's brutal. Not sure if I'll get that one on film. Nope. That sun's just too bright. Well, just a play-by-play. Just had a spike go to where that doe went. Doesn't seem like they're coming to work the licking branch on this apple tree. But there's, I think it's like a buckthorn type bush. I don't know what type of bush it is that they scrape on over there as well. That's where they've been going instead of this year. Learned something. Well, it's shoot time. Ended up seeing 2 does and that smaller buck. It's a deer right behind me right now. Can't shoot him anyway, but still cool. Learned something tonight that they really like to go to that other scrape tree if this thing's not loaded with fruit or whatever. So that's good to keep in mind. But we gotta get packed up and ready for the morning. Morning, everybody. We're heading back into the same property that I hunted yesterday morning and bumped that buck. We're gonna glass and hunt on the real far outskirts of that bedding area I found yesterday, just to see if he comes back or if a different buck moves in. Just had a small little 4 or 6 go across in front of me. Probably about 50 yards or so. Couldn't get footage of him or anything. It's just a little too thick. We're just heading in for the afternoon sit. We are going to be hunting that bedding area that I glassed this morning. I saw, I think, a little scrub 6 or something like that go through towards that bedding area this morning, and I bumped that really nice buck yesterday, and I have a feeling he might want to hold tight to that bedding area because I bumped him this direction. Then as I was walking out, he kind of like did a button hook around back to that bedding area yesterday. So even though I didn't see him go in this morning, he could have came in from a different direction. So I'm just gonna cross this off the list, just to make sure that he's not using it today. We are heading in for the afternoon hunt here. I did some midday scouting, found some pretty good signs, so we're gonna set up on that sign. Looks to be a pretty darn good buck off its rubs and whatnot. It is hot, steamy. Haven't seen a cloud for days. I think it's like 85 today, but we're out here doing the damn thing. Finally got set up this evening, about 5 o'clock or so. Just had a little nut buck come in right below us as we were setting up. And I'd never been on this property, but I'm assuming the bedding's the camera in that direction. Buck was leaving some pretty good sign down. So I'm assuming he's coming from that direction. I'm in a thicket, bumped up to cattail marsh. So real secure cover. Then it heads out to a bean field. I hope they're not cutting that bean field as I speak, right? But we got the wind blowing away from Betty, and really thick in here. We got shot the trail at 7, 11, 20 yards. Feeling pretty confident, probably medium level confidence. So let's sit tight and have some action. Freaking A, just had a deer. This thick crap right behind me at 8 yards. I didn't get a look at what it was. I think it was a buck, I'm not sure. I hope it wasn't him. Dang it. They come right past the transition right up shooting time.
The next morning, I would head into that property where I had jumped that nice buck earlier in the week. I would hunt 2 different bedding areas, one bedding area in the morning, another bedding area in the evening. Unfortunately, no deer were seen on those hunts.
We're having to hightail it out of here this morning. We got lightning in the area. I didn't strike too far away. And when you're the one of a couple of trees sitting in a metal platform, probably best decision to leave. But hopefully you enjoyed this first week of Wisconsin hunting opener, whatever you want to call it, on public land here. Be doing a lot more hunting the rest of the year. We'll have about a 3-week hiatus till we can get out next, do the work and whatnot. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this little video here on public lands. Showed you a couple deer, so that's got to count or something. All right, I'll see you guys in the next video.